Justin Welby has just posted a very interesting article in the Times, which will be published tomorrow morning. And he points out, this is a follow-up to his statement in the House of Lords just following the coronation, I think on the 10th of May. He points out that the refugee crisis is global, vast and long-term. It's not something that can be sorted out with a sticking plaster, defining something as illegal simply because the British government wants to, simply because Suella Braverman has set her face against it. The legislation which is in front of the Lords and has passed through the House of Commons, he believes, is not a constructive law, that it won't do very much. He makes it quite clear that he is not in favour of small boats. He makes it quite clear that he's not advocating open borders. He makes it quite clear that he thinks we should have some control. But he also says, as I've been saying consistently, that this is something that should be dealt with on an international basis, and that we should probably look to be leading the debate about restructuring the 1951 Refugee Convention as a starting point, rather than pouting about whether or not we're going to accept the judgment of the European Court of Human Rights and trying to pretend that the European Court of Human Rights is part of the Brexit process. The European Court of Human Rights is independent and was set up partly on the as a result of a campaign by Winston Churchill. It's got very little to do with Europe. It just happens to be situated in Europe. And the only other country that has left the European Court of Human Rights is Russia. If we want to be aligned with Russia, then we should follow Suella Braverman's plan that we should leave the European Court of Human Rights. I don't think very many people would want to do that, frankly. And once we leave the European Court of Human Rights, I think we would find ourselves being punished by Europe as well. I don't think it's a good position to be in. I think a better position is to be leading the debate rather than hiding in some sort of molehill on this side of the channel and pretending that we can stop the boats, which we cannot. We also need to set up a safe and viable route for people to take instead of crossing the channel. We can't pontificate about saving lives unless we find a way to give people an alternative to going in boats. If we had an alternative to going in boats, we would scupper immediately the smugglers' system, the smugglers' trade. It would immediately disappear.